back to my channel. Welcome to those of you guys who are new here. So today's video is actually going to be another story time. And yeah, I'm super excited about this one, even though it's not like a funny story time. Well, actually, it kind of is funny. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, anyways, it's going to be another roommate horror story. This roommate story is actually from the place I'm living at now. However, this roommate no longer lives here. She's been gone. I'm honestly probably gonna divide this video up into two different videos because it's just a lot of information. I'm just gonna start from the very beginning. So I'm gonna preface this by saying the place I lived at before my current place, there were just hella problems with like maintenance and just like the condition of the place, and I had a lot of issues with the landlord. I know you guys are probably hearing this and you're like, oh my god, like she has issues with everybody that she lives with, like her roommates, her landlord. But I promise you, like, I just seem to have like the most horrible luck when it comes to like living situations, which could be due to the fact that I always find my roommates on Craigslist. I just can't afford to spend or to pay like thousands of dollars for a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, I can't. Anyways, yeah, so the place I was living at before my current place, I had hella issues with the landlord. He didn't want to fix do any repairs or like fix any of the problems that were going on, and he was just like a really aggressive unprofessional person. So when I moved into my current place, I was super excited because I was just like, finally I'm gonna be leaving out of this situation. I'm not gonna have to deal with this person anymore, and I'm just starting fresh, and I'm just gonna have new roommates, you know. I was so excited. And keep in mind, like, if you haven't seen my first story time, I had lived like at an apartment with like 4 other girls. So I was leaving a situation with like, I was leaving one bad situation, got put into another bad situation, and then now we're at my current place where I was like excited to be starting fresh. We're just gonna start from the beginning. So when I first moved in, I'm gonna call my roommate, we're gonna call her Mary. We're gonna call her Mary. So when I first moved in, Mary was like hella nice, like overly nice, to the point to where I kind of was just like, okay, like this is a little odd. It is just doing a little much. Like when I first moved in, she got me candy, she got me a bouquet of flowers, she got me like a free yoga pass, she got me a card and like wrote a note on the card about how excited she was to have me and like welcome. And it was just like a whole lot, and I had never like had an experience like that. But I was trying to think positive because I was just like, okay, you're leaving a really shitty situation and now you're getting this roommate who's just super nice and is like doing all this stuff for you to make you feel welcome. So I was trying to look at it from like that perspective instead of just thinking like, this is weird, like why is she being so fucking nice? Which I feel like you should always go with your gut. Like, I knew from jump that it was a little odd and just not genuine. I'm not saying that you can't be a super nice person, but I think if you get a weird vibe, they probably have ulterior motives. So fast forward, I'm living at the house. Things are chill. Me and her get along pretty well. You know, things are going. And it's just going good. I want to say things were cool for like a few months before everything went to shit. I noticed that she was just a very sensitive person, and she talks super low and like quiet, and she was just like super sensitive, like super emotional, super sensitive. I would notice that oftentimes she would be in her room crying alone and sobbing. She would just have these really weird episodes, and I kind of was just like, oh, like this is a lot. Keep in mind, like we shared a bedroom wall, so it was like her room and then my room and then like the same wall, so I could hear everything, and it's hardwood floors, so it's like you can really hear everything. So I was kind of put off by that, and it was a little, you know, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just off-putting to just be chilling at home and then out of nowhere your roommate's like sobbing, and it's not like a one-time thing, it's like a pretty regular thing. After all of that, I'm just gonna get to the first incident. So the first thing that happened was one time I was just sitting in the kitchen, and so the way the house is set up, it's like the kitchen and the common area, and then it's like 2 bedrooms. So the table's here, and then it's like the 2 bedrooms. So her bedroom is here, like further away. I'm so bad at explaining where things are, but whatever. So I'm at the table, and I'm just chilling. I'm watching like videos on Instagram, and I think I was eating, either that or I was just like on my phone. And I was like on the explore page or something, and this like cop video popped up, and I was just watching it. It was one of those like cop accounts where it's like crazy cop encounters or stuff like that. Like it's nothing related to like police brutality. It's just more like crazy encounters that cops have had with suspects, basically. So I'm watching the video, and there's this guy who I guess like tried to rob a bank or some shit, and he was like high on PCP, something like that, and the cops like tased him or whatever, and the guy's just like going crazy and like talking shit, whatever. I'm just watching it, being messy, you know, just like, oh, okay. And then my roommate comes out of her, Mary comes out of her room, and she's like, what are you watching? Like, oh my god, what is that? And she just looked really like angry and like emotional, and I kind of was just like, nothing, I'm just watching a video. And she was like, can I see it? Like, let me see your phone, what is it? And I kind of was just like, no, because I could tell that she was like really triggered by it for some reason. So I kind of was just like, I'm not really sure what your problem is, but I don't want to go there with you, so I'm not even gonna show you the video. And keep in mind, at this point, like, me and her are cool, like, we've never had issues. So she's just going off, and she's like, well, why don't you want to show me the video? Like, what's the problem? And I'm just like, I just don't want to show you. Like, it's clear that this is bothering you and this is upsetting you. Like, you look like you're about to cry for some reason. So why would I, like, I don't want to get into that with you. Like, I'm not on that type of time. You know, I'm minding my own business. I'm not really sure what I did to upset you, but I'm not trying to go there with you. I don't want to show you the video. We'll just leave it at that. Like, I'm gonna go in my room. And she was just really upset, and she started going off and was just like, you know, trying to talk about police brutality with me. Keep in mind, Mary is white, so she's just talking about police brutality and like all this other shit. I knew that we had very different upbringings and we had very different views on a lot of stuff, and I don't in general like to talk about, you know, politics or, you know, like social issues with people unless I know for a fact that like they're either really open-minded and not the type of person to like attack you for your views, or they just have similar views. I wasn't trying to get into that with her. I already knew the type of person that she was, and she just wasn't someone that I was interested in having that sort of conversation with. And she just started going off and like, what do you know about police brutality? And that's when I was just kind of like, bitch, like, you're talking to a black girl and you're gonna sit here and ask me what do I know about police brutality. And that's just like when I went off on her, and it was just this huge thing. I was like, honestly, you're super disrespectful. I told you I didn't want to have this conversation. I really don't appreciate you, you know, not respecting my boundaries and trying to like force me into this conversation that I made it clear I didn't want to have, you know, like, what the fuck. And she tried to like dial back, and I kind of was just cool off of her because I was so upset, and I was just like, yeah, it's like me and her are just not gonna be cool again after this. So it wasn't like I hated her or I had this like huge issue with her. It was just like after that I wasn't trying to talk. Like, I was just like, okay, we're just gonna be cordial, but like we're not gonna be hella cool like we were before this. So after that, things kind of just took a turn for the worse, and this is where it started to get really bad. It was just super uncomfortable. Like, Mary was just, like I said, she was a very sensitive person, and so once she realized that I wasn't really fucking with her like that, she just took it hella to heart and was like really upset that I wasn't really, you know, like I used to eat dinner in the kitchen, and then she would eat dinner and we would just talk, you know, or maybe she would be cooking or like making tea and she would talk to me while I was eating, you know, stuff like that. Like, we were just cool. I wouldn't say we were friends, but like we were, you know, like building a relationship. Like, we were cool with each other. So after that whole incident, I really just started eating dinner in my room. I was always and still am a super busy person, so I was working full-time. I was still in school full-time. So I was not the type of roommate that's just like a homebody and is just like at the house all day. She worked a job where like her schedule was completely different from mine. Keep that in mind. I would be gone morning, afternoons, evenings, and then home at nighttime, basically. So we wouldn't really be home at the same time like that. But when we were home at the same time, I would just be in my room because, like I said, I was just cool off of her. And This one time I was in a rush. I had to take an exam actually for like, I think it was for an online class that I was taking at the time, but the exam was like on campus and it was at like an evening time. So I had set an alarm and I was like, okay, I need to like hurry up and like get ready so I can go walk to the school and like take this exam. And so when I came out of my room, she came out of her room and she was just like,
hey, I'm not really sure what's going on. I apologize to you, and like you still just walk around with your earphones in all the time and like you're never home. You eat dinner in your room. It's really upsetting me that like you're not talking to me anymore. It just really makes me upset.
and she was just looking really emotional, kind of. And I kind of was put off by it, like, you know, I'm not talking to you like that because you were hella out of line. And like, even if you apologize, it's like, I don't know you like that. Like, we just started getting cool when this happened. So it's not like you're someone I have hella history with and then you do something like that and I just completely write you off. It's like, no, I just met you and then that happened. So we were just starting to get cool. So it was way easier for me to just be done. And I just told her, I was like, me wearing my earphones, it's like nothing against you. I always have my earphones in because I take the bus and I commute. As far as like eating dinner in my room, like, it's not like I'm going out of my way. Like, I'm just watching TV, chilling. Then my alarm went off while we were talking. And I was like, I'm sorry, I really gotta go. I gotta go to class. And then she just walked away from me, went in her room, and slammed her door while I was still talking. I was in the middle of saying, like, my bad, I have class. And then she just immediately walked away and, like, slammed her door in my face. This is why we're not cool because I don't know, she was just the type of person, like, if you didn't say what she wanted you to say, then she was done with the conversation. But then it's like, if you don't want to talk to her, like, she can't handle that type of shit. And it was just really weird. Mind you, Mary is like at least 10 years older than me. So keep that in mind. It was pretty much just like, we just had beef at that point, and it wasn't really on my end because, like I said, even though she really offended me from that initial interaction, I wasn't like super angry with her. I just had decided like I would rather we just keep it cordial, keep it cute, but like not really get like super cool like we were trying to be in the beginning, you know? And it wasn't like I was rude to her. Like, I would say hey, I would say how's it going. I would just kind of, like, I don't know. I just wasn't hella talkative like I was before. So after, she walked away from me and slammed the door, things just got really weird. So like I mentioned earlier, her and I had completely different schedules. I used to wake up, and I still do basically, wake up at 7 a.m. on the dot every single day. Like I said earlier, Mary and I had completely different schedules. She was not someone who had anywhere to be in the mornings. So she knew, like, you know how you move in and you talk with your roommates, like, oh, what's your shifts? Or like, what are your hours? When do you get home? So she knew that I had to leave for class or I had to leave for work hella early. So I would always set my alarm for 7 a.m. and I would just be out of the bed 7:01 and try to hop in the shower. And I would allot myself like 10 minutes to shower, brush my teeth, and like hurry up and then get dressed and just go to class because I had super early morning classes. So she knew all of this. Her bedroom was closer to the bathroom. So literally after we like stopped really being cool, every single day at 7 a.m., as soon as she heard my alarm go off, as soon as I would open my bedroom door, she would open hers and she would run into the bathroom and lock the door. And she would be in there for like a few minutes. Keep in mind, like, I was kind of on a tight schedule because I planned the amount of time that I had to get ready around like, okay, I need to be out the door by this time so I could catch the bus and go, to either work or class, wherever I was going. One of the two. So she knew this. Like, I took the bus leaves at a certain time. If you miss that bus, then you're gonna be late. So or just running behind, whatever. So she knew that. And it wasn't just like one time. Like, if it happened one time, like after the first time, I was kind of just like, okay, maybe she just really had to pee at the same time my alarm went off, whatever. It happened every single day. When I say every single day, I mean literally every single day. Every single day, 7 a.m. It wasn't like she would get up at 6:45, she would get up at 7:30. No. As soon as she heard my alarm, without a fail, I would hear her hurrying and racing me to the bathroom. And then I would have to bang on the door and be like, Mary, like, I have to get ready. Like, And you know that I'm never in the bathroom for long. Like, it's not like I would take an hour in the bathroom or some shit. And like, she knew that once I went in there, I wasn't coming out anytime soon. Like, no, I only was in there for like 10 to 15 minutes because if I took any longer, I would be running behind. So she knew that. She just was petty and like really weird. And then she tried to make it seem like I was crazy for like having an issue with it. So I'll be banging on the door like, Mary, I need to get ready. Like, what are you doing? And she would just be like, Jesus Christ, like, oh my God. And I would just be like, yeah, oh my God is right. Like, what the fuck? You know I have to get ready. You don't have anywhere to be. That was my thing. I would just be so irritated because I'm just like, bro, you don't have anywhere to be. You don't have class. You don't have work right now or anytime soon. And you know I have things to do. So why are you fighting with me to hurry up and use the bathroom at 7 a.m.? Like, what? And keep in mind, like, she wouldn't go to bed until hella late either. So it's like, I know that you weren't just up. Like, you're doing this to be petty. So stuff like that started happening. She never flushed the toilet after she used the restroom. She would like use her, sanitary napkins and then just leave them face up in the trash can. She wouldn't wrap them up. She wouldn't cover them, nothing, just face up. So when I would go to the bathroom, I would see an unflushed toilet and then a bloody fucking pad in the trash. And I would just be like, are you for real right now? Like, you're in your 30s, just putting your pads and your tampons face up in the trash, all bloody, so your roommate can find them. Not flushing the toilet. So I asked her, I was like, hey, can you please flush the toilet? And she was like, does it bother you? And I was like, yeah, it does. Even if it's just pee, like, I don't want to see whatever it is that you had going on. It's just gross to me. Like, just flush it. I don't understand why you don't flush it. I just kind of got tired of like all of the weird, like, petty shit that she started to do. She would always slam the fuck out of her bedroom door. Anytime I had someone over, she would stomp around the house, slam cabinets, slam her door, and just all types of shit. It was really weird. So I wrote her like, I'm gonna call it a letter. I don't feel like it was that long. It was like a page long, like a page and like a little bit of the back. And I just wrote her a letter basically saying, because I didn't know what else to do. Like, keep in mind, I had tried texting her like, hey, I have to wake up at 7 a.m. every single day. Okay, guys, so I actually found the old text messages about the whole bathroom incident, and she definitely did text me saying that, I'm not allowed to tell her when she can pee and I'm going too far. And I basically just said to her the same thing that I told you guys. So yeah, I just included the screenshots here so you guys would see that I wasn't lying. I'm noticing that right at 7 a.m. every single day, you're racing me to the bathroom. Like, you know my schedule. I really need to use the bathroom at that time. And then she got all mad and was like, you're not going to try and tell me when I can pee or that I can't pee. And I was just like, I'm not telling you that you can't pee. I'm just saying that you and I both know that you're doing this to be petty. Like, no, I'm asking you if you can wait. So I tried texting her about these issues. I tried talking to her in person. I would say, hey, like, could you please flush the toilet? Or hey, could you please like make sure to cover your trash up, like your sanitary napkins? She would point blank ignore me. When I say she would ignore me, I mean we could be like hella close and I would be like, hey, Mary, like, could you please do blah, blah, blah? And she would just keep walking like she didn't hear me. So, and then she would slam her door. And then I would just be standing there looking stupid. So I was just like, okay, I've tried communicating with you in so many different ways. You don't respond. I'm not sure what else to do, but this is fucking crazy. Like, we share a bathroom, we share a kitchen, we share a bedroom wall. Like, and I had just moved in there. So I was like, I'm not leaving anytime soon. Like, what the fuck? So I wrote her that letter. And in the letter, I basically was just like, I want us to be cordial. I don't hate you. I don't have any issues with you. Can you please just clean up after yourself? Can you please just flush the toilet? Like, these are things I've tried texting you about. I've tried talking to you. You ignore me. You don't want to talk. So I'm writing you this note. Maybe this is a better way to communicate. Maybe you'd rather just exchange notes, whatever. But I would like for us to be cordial. I'd like for the communication to get better. And that's basically what I said. She wrote me back, and then I slid it underneath her bedroom door. And then the next day, she wrote me back a note and left it on the kitchen table and wrote, please don't ever put a letter under my door again. I don't know why you're writing me these essays. Like something, she definitely said, please don't ever put a letter under my door again. And then was just like, I don't know why you're writing me these essays, but yeah. And so and then I saw that she had crumpled up the note that I had left her. And I was just like, okay, like, so you ignore me when I try to talk to you in person, like adults, like an adult. You ignore me when I text you, like she would not text me back. You don't want me to write you a note. So how do you propose that we communicate? Because we live together, so, and we share common areas, like, how are we supposed to communicate? And I was trying really hard to like be better at communicating because I had like, you know, that crazy situation with the first time that I moved out. So I was trying to like not be petty. I was trying to communicate better. But she was just making it so fucking hard. So after that, things just started to get worse and worse and worse. And I was just like, I cannot do this. I'm gonna add that Mary was polyamorous, either that or she was polyamorous, I think. I always mix polyamorous and polygamous up, but I believe she was polyamorous. So she would have these people over, and it would be like people, I don't think she knew these people that well because I would overhear their conversations, and it was they were not conversations that you would have with someone that you knew, you know? So she just would have these people over all the fucking time, like, and it would be a different person that she would hook up with every week. Like, it was to the point to where like she had at least like, I would say like three different people over a month. Mind you, me and her shared a bathroom, so I would hear them fucking in her bedroom. Like, I would hear her moaning, I would hear whatever they were doing. And like I said, I had to wake up hella early. So I would be trying to sleep and it would be like the middle of the night. Like, it wasn't like it was the middle of the afternoon and I just came home uncharacteristically. Like, no, this would be at like the middle of the night. It was like 2, 3 a.m. and it would be during the week. Picture you're home on a Tuesday night, getting ready for bed because you have work at 8 a.m. or you have class at 8 a.m. and you just hear your roommate moaning and fucking some random person next door. It's like, are you serious right now? So I would bang on her door and I would just be like, shut the hell up. Like, I wouldn't tell her to shut the hell up. I would bang on her door and I would be like, I can hear you, can you stop? And then they would stop for a little bit and then it would start back up again, and it was just weird as fuck. So there were times where I would come home, she would have some random person in the bathtub and they would be taking a bath together and you could just hear them moaning and like having sex, and I would be banging on the door like, yo, I need to pee. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know I'm home, you know I can hear everything. It's like 3 a.m. Like, can you not? Like, people like this, you just need to get your own place, honestly. Whatever you do in the privacy of your home is your business. I never cared about, you know, whatever she wanted to do. That was never my issue. That was never my business. It was just the fact that it was affecting me. So whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't affect anyone else, totally fine. Do you. Don't care. But when I start to get affected by it, that's when I have a problem. It got to the point where she reached out to the landlords and was just like, oh, like, yeah, I'm having issues with Kayla and like, I'm gonna have a meeting. And I was just like, this is so dumb. And I have such a busy schedule. Like, I'm really about to sit down and have a meeting with my over 30-year-old roommate and the landlords because she doesn't want to communicate like an adult and she wants to be petty. So we had the meeting and she was just going on and on about how I don't want to talk to her, you know, and like, you know, she doesn't understand why I don't respond to her and why I don't talk to her. And I was just like, I tried talking to you in several different ways. I tried several different methods of talking to you and you didn't respond to any of them. Now that you want to communicate, now you're upset because I've closed the door on the communication. It's like everything was just always on her time and I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I don't care. Like, I've tried and you gave me your ass to kiss, and then now that I'm giving you that same energy back and I'm not trying anymore and I'm just being petty to you too, now it's an issue. And so I basically told the landlords, I was like, I don't have anything to say to Mary. We're not going to communicate. Mary's disrespectful. I've tried communicating with Mary. She doesn't text me back. She crumples up the notes that I leave her. She ignores me when I try to talk to her in person. She slams her door in my face. You know, now that Mary wants to talk, all of a sudden I'm supposed to just forget about all of that. I'm like, I'm okay, you know? Hey guys, so this is also another screenshot that I found, basically just saying the same thing that I just told you guys that I told the landlord. Yeah, the roommate was just being super disrespectful, and I pretty much just told her and the landlord that I won't be communicating with her going forward, period. It is what it is. And so, yeah, I told the landlords the same thing. I was like, me and Mary have nothing to talk about. And I think she thought that she was going to be able to like get them to like not bully, that's not the right word. I think she thought that she was going to be able to get them to like get me to talk to her again, but I was just okay on that. I'm just going to stop the story right here because I'm going to make a part 2 to this because like I said, I don't want this video to be too long, but the video just gets, not the video, the story just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. So I'm gonna film the part 2 and then I'm gonna upload that before this video turns into like an hour-long video. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this video in the comments down below, and then I'll catch you guys in the next video. And yeah, toodles.